Welcome to Eagles Nest News. Today, we're diving into an in-depth look at the early winners and losers of Philadelphia Eagles training camp so far. This camp has been full of excitement, promising performances, and a few struggles, and I'm here to break down exactly who is standing out in the best way and who might need to step up if they want to secure their spot on this Eagles roster. Before we get too deep into the analysis, I want to remind everyone to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. This channel is your go-to spot for daily Eagles content. Whether I'm behind the mic, in front of the camera, or sharing insights on the team, my goal is to keep you informed, entertained, and engaged. I want this channel to be a place where Eagles fans can come together and have a voice, whether that's through comments, questions, or debate. So if you're ready to become a more informed Eagles fan, if you want the inside scoop on training, camp, and beyond, make sure to smash that subscribe button so we can keep growing the Chat Sports Eagles community. We're building something special here, and your support helps us continue to set the standard for Eagles coverage on YouTube. Now, let's get into the winners of training camp so far. Winner number one, without question, has to be rookie linebacker Garrett Campbell. This guy has been a revelation. It's becoming clear that the Eagles may have landed a true gem when general manager Howie Roseman selected him at number 31 in the draft. Campbell's start to training camp has been nothing short of impressive, especially considering many doubted he would be fully healthy by this point. In fact, even the head coach, Vic Fangio, expressed some concern last week about Campbell's recovery from a labrum injury in his shoulder, but here he is, medically cleared and running with the first-team defense alongside veteran linebacker Zach Bond, who unfortunately is sidelined right now due to injury. Garrett Campbell has taken the opportunity to shine, making splash plays throughout camp that have caught everyone's attention. For example, just the other day, he showed excellent perimeter pursuit to stop a run by Saquon Barkley, a dynamic back, known for his ability to gain yards after contact. Campbell's speed and athleticism allowed him to get to the edge quickly and make a crucial tackle. But it's not just his tackling that has impressed coaches and fans alike. Campbell also displayed strong instincts in pass coverage. On one play, he read an underneath route to tight end Dallas Goedert, got his hands on the ball, and delivered a big hit to disrupt the catch. He also held his own one-on-one against running backs, which is notoriously difficult for linebackers, showing that he can match their agility and quickness despite his size. This is especially encouraging considering he struggled in that drill just a day earlier, demonstrating rapid improvement and a strong work ethic. When Campbell came out of Alabama, scouts love his length, speed, and athleticism, and all of those qualities have been on full display at camp. His closing speed, in particular, has helped him make plays that few rookies can. Looking ahead to the Eagles season opener against the Dallas Cowboys on September 4th, Campbell has a real chance to be a significant factor in Vic Fangio's defense. During his rookie campaign, this is a player who slipped to the Eagles at pick 31, but Howie Roseman swooped in and grabbed him, and it looks like it might be a steal. Winner number two is second-year cornerback Quinton Mitchell. Since the Eagles acquired A.J. Brown, many defenders have struggled to contain him one-on-one. He's proven to be a nearly unstoppable force, whether it's in isolated coverage or in various passing drills. Yet, in training camp, the only player who has consistently been able to hold his own and even limit Brown's impact has been Quinton Mitchell. This matchup has been a fascinating display of elite talent going head-to-head to players pushing each other to the limits, a true sharpening iron scenario. What's especially impressive is that Mitchell has shown this ability while playing both the right and left corner positions, something he didn't do in his rookie season. Last year, Mitchell was primarily a right-side cornerback, logging more than 800 snaps in that role and establishing himself as a top 10 corner in the league. He showcased his skills at Toledo, where he had an impressive number of pass breakups, over 40 in his final 2 years of college, and his 4.4 speed has helped him keep pace with some of the NFL's best receivers. But his ability to flip sides and perform at a high level on both the right and left corners now gives the Eagles defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, more flexibility in the secondary. It means Quinton can be matched up against the league's best wideouts wherever needed, which is a huge asset. Locking down a receiver like A.J. Brown isn't easy, but Mitchell has done an admirable job so far. Brown has managed to get some catches off him here and there, but Mitchell has also made big plays, including a highlight interception with a one-handed snag along the sideline. During a recent practice, his performance is a huge reason the Eagles Secondary looks to be in good hands heading into 2025. Another key winner at training camp has been defensive end Moro Jomo. This young player is quietly having a breakout camp, and I fully expect him to take a major step forward this year, as he looks to fill the shoes of Milton Williams, who left the Eagles for the New England Patriots with a huge contract worth $26 million per year. Jomo is still very young and hasn't been playing football for all that long, which makes his rapid development all the more impressive. He's shown the ability to disrupt both the run and the passing game, generating pressure and making plays in the backfield consistently. Jomo acknowledges that he is next in line to take over a significant role after Milton Williams departed, and he has studied how the Eagles have historically drafted and developed talent, replacing key players effectively like Hal Fletcher. Cox retired and the Eagles drafted Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis to fill that void, or how the team replaced Joshua with Nolan Smith and Jay Hunt. This history of successful development bodes well for Jomo, and all signs point to an upward trajectory for him in 2025. Notably, he already had the highest pass rush win rate among all Eagles defensive linemen last year, showcasing his ability to get after the quarterback. Turning to tight end Dallas Goedert, he has been another standout player in camp, despite wanting a long-term deal and not getting it, partly due to a history of injuries. Goedert remains a top target for quarterback Jalen Hurts in red zone and outside zone passing situations. Goedert is often overlooked because he doesn't rack up the flashy stats of some of the elite tight ends in the league, but he is consistently productive and reliable. He's an excellent blocker and a very capable pass catcher who gains yards after the catch, making him a valuable all-around weapon in the Eagles' offense. Goedert has been motivated to prove himself as he looks to secure a big contract after this season, and his experience and steady play are crucial to the team's success. Another big winner in camp is Jay Hunt, a young edge rusher who is expected to play a significant role in the Eagles' pass rush alongside Nolan Smith. Hunt is just in his second year, but he has already drawn comparisons to Micah Parsons from Dallas Cowboys by Eagles tackle Jordan Mailata, who was a second-team All-Pro last season. Mailata praised Hunt's burst and his ability to cut on a dime, which are rare traits that can make him a disruptive force on the edge. Hunt's background is interesting, as he started his college career as a safety before transitioning to edge rusher, so he is still relatively new to the position, but showing remarkable potential. Howie Roseman's decision not to pursue a big-name defensive end in free agency shows the Eagles' belief in Hunt and Smith's potential to anchor the pass rush moving forward. A.J. Brown deserves mention as another winner because despite being an elite receiver, he has had to deal with tough coverage from Quinton Mitchell. And while he's won some one-on-one battles, the fact that Mitchell is even contesting him is a positive for the Eagles. Another player who has impressed is A.J. Dillon, who adds a physical element to the Eagles' backfield. He missed all of last season due to a neck injury, but is back now and bringing a downhill power running style reminiscent of the 2017 Eagles lead runner. His size and running style give the team a bruising option alongside other backs like Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley. Speaking of Hurts, he cooled off a bit in the last few practices, but had been remarkably efficient earlier in camp, completing nearly 97% of his passes. He is adjusting to a new offensive coordinator and learning a more complex system, but still showing promising accuracy and decision-making with only one interception so far. Defensive lineman Jordan Davis has been shedding weight to improve his leverage and bend, and it's expected to pay off with a breakout season. Meanwhile, cornerback MC Williams has made some highlight plays, despite a significant height disadvantage compared to some of the league's bigger receivers. He showed great instincts and timing in breaking up a pass against Johnny Wilson, a taller and more physically imposing opponent. Then there's Elijah Cooks, a relatively unknown wide receiver who came into camp as an undrafted free agent with minimal expectations, but has been making highlight-worthy plays consistently. With competition behind the Eagles' top wide receivers, Cooks could find a role as a depth receiver or special teams contributor, potentially locking down a spot on the 53-man roster. On the coaching side, offensive line coach Tyler Steen was honored with the Dr. Z Award, and Jeff Stoutland praised his recent work, signaling that the offensive line unit is progressing well, which is always crucial for both the run game and pass protection. Linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr. also deserves mention as a winner. He has been running with the first team when Jihad Campbell is not, showing high football IQ, solid instincts, and reliable coverage skills even if he's not the flashiest athlete. An injury update on Nico Dean is also encouraging. Coming off a torn patellar tendon suffered in January, Dean is ahead of schedule in his rehab, though he still has some ways to go before returning to the field. Overall, there are many reasons to be optimistic about the Eagles as they head into the regular season, with promising young talent and veterans stepping up in meaningful ways. While there are many players shining bright at Eagles training camp, it's equally important to discuss those who haven't quite found their rhythm, yet those who are struggling to meet expectations and might face an uphill battle to secure their roles on the team. Training camp is a grueling test, and sometimes even talented players can stumble early as they adjust to new schemes, recover from injury, or simply work to sharpen their skills. Against elite competition, the Eagles have no shortage of competition this year, and every practice rep is a chance to prove oneself. So those who falter risk losing valuable playing time or even a roster spot altogether. One of the more surprising names among the early losers is linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr. Despite his flashes of intelligence and solid understanding of the defense, Trotter has struggled to consistently keep pace with the speed and physicality of the first-team offense. He has had a few mental errors, including misreads in coverage, that have led to big plays in practice, and he often appears a step slow when reacting to quick changes. This has raised some eyebrows given his pedigree coming out of college, where he was known for his instincts and tackling ability. The jump to the NFL, however, has exposed some deficiencies that Trotter must overcome if he hopes to be a significant contributor. He has the tools to develop, but the clock is ticking in a highly competitive linebacker room that includes promising rookies and established veterans. Coaches are looking for reliability and playmaking, and Trotter must elevate his game rapidly to avoid losing reps to others. Another area of concern has been the wide receiver group. Beyond the established stars like A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, rookie wide receiver Elijah Cooks, who entered camp with low expectations, has been a pleasant surprise and a winner so far. But some of the other receivers have struggled to separate themselves. This group is deep but not yet clearly defined, and a handful of players have dropped balls during crucial drills or have failed to consistently get open against the Eagles' secondary. The competition is fierce, and with the team carrying limited wide receiver spots, those who do not show consistent route running, reliable hands, and an ability to contribute on special teams could find themselves on the outside looking in. This has led to a higher level of urgency for players like Isaiah Oquendo and Jaden Thomas, who need to showcase that they can be dependable assets when called upon. Oquendo, in particular, has shown flashes of explosive speed, but has yet to translate that into consistent production during practice, often losing focus or miscommunicating on routes. This lack of polish has given the Eagles coaching staff pause as they seek a receiver group that can be counted on every down. Moving to the offensive line, while some players like Tyler Steen have been praised, others have struggled with consistency in pass protection and run blocking. The offensive line is often described as the backbone of the team's success, and even a single weak link can disrupt the entire offense's rhythm. A few players have struggled with footwork, hand placement, and maintaining blocks against the increasingly aggressive Eagles' defensive front. This has been especially evident in practices, where the defensive line has overwhelmed the line of scrimmage, forcing quarterback Jalen Hurts to scramble or throw under duress. One player in particular who has had a tough time adjusting is backup guard Anthony Herrera. Herrera has the size and strength needed to compete at the NFL level, but his technique is still raw, and he has been beaten off the edge several times, leading to sacks and hurried throws. The coaching staff is working closely with Herrera, emphasizing fundamentals and quicker hand strikes, but the pressure is mounting for him to improve quickly. The Eagles cannot afford weak spots in their line, especially with a demanding schedule ahead and the need to protect their young quarterback. Speaking of Jalen Hurts, while he has shown flashes of brilliance, completing nearly 97% of his passes earlier in camp, his recent cool down has raised some questions about his ability to sustain that level of play against top-tier defenses. Adjusting to a new offensive coordinator and a more complex playbook is no small feat, and Hurts has had moments of hesitation and indecision during live drills. His timing on routes has sometimes been off, leading to receivers having to break off routes or adjust their positioning to make catches. There was a particularly telling moment during a 7-on-7 drill when Hurts took an extra second to throw, resulting in a near interception. While this is to be expected for a young quarterback still learning the intricacies of the NFL game, it has fueled a debate among fans and analysts about whether Hurts is ready to be the unquestioned starter, or if the Eagles might need to consider alternatives in the future. Hurts' arm strength and accuracy are undeniable assets, but decision-making under pressure remains a critical area for growth. Another player facing challenges is tight end Dallas Goedert. Though he has had some strong moments, especially in blocking and red zone targets, his injury history continues to cast a shadow over his reliability. Goedert missed significant time last season due to a nagging hamstring issue, and during training camp, he has been carefully managed to avoid aggravating old injuries. This cautious approach has limited his reps with the first-team offense, and it has left the Eagles searching for additional tight end depth. Younger players like Jeremiah Hall and newcomer Marcus Alexander have been competing to fill the void. When Goedert is on the sidelines, there is hope that Goddard's motivation to secure a lucrative contract will drive him to stay healthy and productive. But the team cannot afford to rely solely on him if injuries persist. The defensive secondary also presents some concerns beyond the standout performances of Quinnen Mitchell and MC Williams. Veteran safety Malik Taylor, who signed a one-year deal to bring experience to the back end, has been underwhelming in coverage. Taylor has struggled to keep up with quicker slot receivers and has been beaten deep more than once during scrimmages. His tackling, usually a strong suit, has also been inconsistent, with a few missed tackles leading to extended runs. Given the Eagles' reliance on a strong secondary to support Vic Fangio's aggressive defense, Taylor's performance so far raises questions about whether he can be the dependable safety the team hoped to add through free agency if he cannot raise his level of play. Younger players like Marcus Reese could see increased snaps as the season progresses. The defensive line, while bolstered by players like Moro Jomo and Jordan Davis, has had moments of inconsistency. Some backups, such as second-year player Chris McDowell, have struggled to find a consistent pass rush presence. McDowell has been disruptive at times, but has also been prone to getting caught out of position or failing to hold the point of attack against power runs, with Milton Williams' departure leaving a large hole in the defensive front. The Eagles need their rotation to be deep and reliable. McDowell's inconsistency has made it difficult for the defensive coordinator to trust him in critical situations, and he faces stiff competition from other up-and-comers and veterans. Special teams, often the make-or-break factor for players on the roster bubble, have also revealed a few weak links. Kick returner and punt returner duties are vital, and mistakes in this phase of the game can shift momentum quickly. Rookie returner Damian Harris has struggled with ball security in camp, muffing a few punts and struggling to make quick decisions. Under pressure, coaches have emphasized ball security repeatedly, and Harris will need to improve dramatically to avoid losing the return job to a more reliable veteran. Special teams captain and linebacker Jason Willis, who is tasked with organizing coverage units, has noted that the lack of depth in some positions is forcing younger players into more critical roles before they are fully ready, which has contributed to some breakdowns during drills. In the kicker and punter departments, rookie kicker Tyler Jennings has made a few clutch kicks, but has also missed a couple of extra points and shorter field goals during practice. While these misses haven't been catastrophic, they serve as a reminder that consistency is key in special teams. The Eagles have been monitoring his progress closely, and it's possible veteran kicker Matt Gay could see more reps if Jennings doesn't find his rhythm. Similarly, punter Derek Walker has shown strong leg strength but struggled at times with directional kicking, occasionally allowing returns that put the opposing offense in good field position. Off the field, the mental aspect of camp has been a challenge for some players who are adjusting to the pressure and expectations of professional football. Rookie wide receiver Jaden Thomas has been vocal about the need to stay focused and avoid distractions, but early in camp, he was caught up in some off-the-field issues that may have affected his concentration. The Eagles have a strong culture of accountability, and players like Thomas have been reminded that professionalism is just as important as physical performance in securing a roster spot. On a positive note, the Eagles coaching staff has been proactive in addressing these challenges. Head coach Nick Sirianni has emphasized the importance of communication, preparation, and mental toughness throughout camp. The team has instituted additional film sessions, mental reps, and situational drills designed to sharpen decision-making and improve execution. Assistant coaches have been working closely with players to refine techniques and build confidence. There is a clear understanding that early struggles can be overcome, but only with hard work, dedication, and a willingness to learn from mistakes. Another theme emerging during camp is the importance of versatility. Players who can contribute in multiple roles, whether that's lining up at different positions, playing special teams, or stepping into various defensive packages, are gaining an edge. This trend reflects the modern NFL's demand for adaptable athletes who can adjust to fast-changing game plans and personnel shifts. For example, linebackers who can cover slot receivers or defensive ends who can drop into coverage provide valuable flexibility that coaches covet. The Eagles have been experimenting with a few players in hybrid roles, trying to unlock hidden potential and maximize roster efficiency. The competition for the final roster spots is heating up, and every practice and preseason game will serve as a proving ground for players on the bubble. Veteran players who have not performed up to standards will be under scrutiny, while younger players who have made mistakes will be challenged to bounce back quickly. This dynamic environment pushes everyone to elevate their game, but also means some players will face the disappointment of being cut or relegated to the practice squad. The Eagles' front office and coaching staff are tasked with making tough decisions, balancing potential against performance, and keeping the team's long-term vision in mind. In summary, while Eagles training camp has showcased a wealth of talent and promise, there are clear areas where some players have faltered or struggled to meet expectations. Linebacker Jeremiah Trotter Jr., wide receivers beyond the top stars, certain offensive linemen, and some defensive backs have faced challenges that put their roles in question. Injuries and inconsistencies have limited the impact of key contributors, like Dallas Goedert, while the young quarterback Jalen Hurts is still finding his footing in a complex offense. Special teams play has revealed both bright spots and concerns, emphasizing the need for reliable execution in all phases. The coaching staff's efforts to address these struggles through focused coaching, mental preparation, and increased competition are ongoing and critical to the team's success. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles, and don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Could the Philadelphia Eagles be plotting the unthinkable? The NFL rumor mill has gone into overdrive in recent days, with whispers growing louder that Myles Garrett, the Cleveland Browns' generational edge rusher, could be headed to the city of brotherly love. While nothing has been confirmed, insiders around the league are buzzing with speculation that the Eagles might be laying the groundwork for one of the most stunning acquisitions in recent memory. Sources close to the situation suggest there have been exploratory conversations behind the scenes, with some even calling the move inevitable given both teams' trajectories and strategic ambitions. Garrett, who has anchored the Browns' defense for years and remains one of the most feared pass rushers in the league, could be the missing piece in a Philadelphia squad already brimming with talent and hungry for another deep playoff run. The thought of pairing him with the likes of Jalen Carter, Hassan Reddick, and Jordan Davis is enough to send chills down the spines of opposing quarterbacks. While the Eagles' front office remains tight-lipped, Howie Roseman's reputation as a bold architect of super teams only adds fuel to the fire. He's no stranger to splashy moves, whether it's trading up for marquee players or signing key veterans when no one expects it. And this potential deal, should it materialize, might just top them all. The idea of Garrett in midnight green is both thrilling and terrifying, depending on where your loyalties lie. What makes this possibility all the more plausible is the current state of the Browns. Despite having a star-studded roster on paper, Cleveland has struggled with consistency, and some insiders believe the front office may be open to shaking things up in a dramatic way. A potential rebuild or strategic realignment could make them more willing to listen to offers for even their biggest stars, provided the return is massive. And if there's one team with the draft capital and roster flexibility to pull it off, it's Philadelphia. Fans and analysts alike have taken to social media to dissect every cryptic tweet and front office comment, trying to piece together the truth. Some believe Garrett has dropped subtle hints himself, including a few telling likes on Eagles-related posts and a curious silence following questions about his long-term future in Cleveland. While these could all be chalked up to coincidence, it wouldn't be the first time social media breadcrumbs preceded a major NFL shake-up on the field. The impact of such a move would be seismic. Garrett has consistently ranked among the league leaders in sacks, quarterback pressures, and tackles for loss. His athleticism, power, and relentless motor make him a nightmare for offensive linemen and a constant disruptor. Adding him to an already formidable Eagles defense could elevate the unit to historic levels. Some are even daring to whisper comparisons to the legendary 1985 Bears. Or the early 2000s Ravens, defenses that didn't just stop offenses, but outright suffocated them. Of course, this is all still speculation, for now, but the smoke is getting thicker by the day, if there's any truth to these rumors. The NFC East could soon become a very different landscape. The Cowboys and Giants would be staring down a defensive juggernaut twice a season, and the entire conference would be forced to strategize around an Eagles front that, with Garrett in the fold, might be virtually unblockable. There's also the question of fit. From a schematic standpoint, Garrett seems tailor-made for what the Eagles want to do defensively. He can play with his hand in the dirt or stand up on the edge, and his versatility would allow defensive coordinator Vic Fangio to deploy him creatively. In multiple looks, the Eagles love to rotate their linemen to keep them fresh, and Garrett's presence would not only amplify that philosophy, but make every rotation a potential game-changing package. The locker room dynamic is another intriguing aspect. Garrett is widely respected for his work ethic, leadership, and professionalism. Pairing that with the Eagles' strong veteran core could create a culture of excellence that permeates every level of the team. For a franchise still stinging from a near miss in recent postseasons, this might be the exact jolt of energy and star power needed to finally get over the hump. Financially, any trade would be complex. Garrett's contract is sizable, but the Eagles have been known to work magic with the cap. Creative restructures, void years, and smart roster construction have allowed them to absorb big deals in the past, and if the front office truly believes this move could bring a Lombardi trophy back to Philadelphia, they won't let money stand in the way. Still, it's all whispers and shadows for now. But in a league where smoke often leads to fire, it wouldn't be wise to dismiss the chatter outright. Garrett to the Eagles might sound like a dream scenario, but in the NFL, stranger things have happened. One well-timed phone call, one bold decision, and the league's balance of power could shift in an instant. For now, the NFL world watches and waits, and somewhere, in front offices and film rooms across the league, coaches are already imagining the horror of scheming against a defense featuring Myles Garrett in Eagles green. Whether it becomes reality or remains a tantalizing what-if, one thing is certain: the rumor has legs, and the league should take notice. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.